Actress Anne Heche died this August following a tragic car accident, leaving behind two young sons, Homer Heche Laffoon, age 20, and Atlas Heche Tupper, age 13. Last week, in part 1, I talked a little bit about the uncertainty around Heche's estate and how that's creating conflict among her loved ones and resulting in her estate going through the lengthy, expensive, and public court process called probate. And today, in part 2, I want to go ahead and discuss 2 additional issues related to her death and the results of her failure to work with a lawyer on her planning. Hi everybody, welcome back to another episode of Family Wealth and Other Musings. I am your host, Becky Easton. And so first, with a caveat that if I am, or if we don't have an agreement to that effect, I am not your lawyer. So this should be just seen as general legal advice or legal information rather than advice for your specific situation. We'll go ahead and jump back in. And first, I want to cover how Heche could have passed on her assets to her sons using a special type of trust that would not only have kept her affairs private, but would have protected her sons' inheritance from their own creditors, a future divorce, and future lawsuits. And then I'll discuss the estate planning tools the late actress could have had in place to deal with her own incapacity following her accident. And from there, I'll outline what you can learn from Heche's story and the steps you can take to ensure your loved ones never need to endure a similar situation. And I did also want to let you guys know that these articles, we do release these articles through our weekly newsletter, and they're also available on our blog. And you can sign up to receive our newsletter weekly by going to our links page at bit.ly/Easton Law Links. And you can also get straight to our blog page by going to familywealthsecrets.eastonlawpllc.com. So, outside of avoiding probate, trusts are a necessary part of an estate plan whenever you have a minor child. Minors are legally unable to inherit any assets until they reach the age of majority, which can be 18 or 21, depending on which state you're in. If a minor does inherit assets, as it looks like Atlas may, the court will require a guardian to manage the assets for the child until he or she comes of age. Then, when the minor reaches adulthood, the assets are distributed outright, without any protection from creditors and without direction from you. To prevent her children from getting outright, unprotected access to their inheritance, Heche could have created a trust and named a person of her choosing as a trustee to manage Atlas's inheritance until he comes of age. And, even though he's an adult, Heche could have done the same for Homer's inheritance. If Heche has built a lifetime asset protection trust into the trust she had built or set up for her children, she could have not only transferred her assets to her sons upon her death or incapacity without the need for any court intervention, she could also have ensured that those assets would transfer with protection from common life events like divorce, debilitating illness, serious accidents, lawsuits, and bankruptcy. At the same time, the trust would have allowed Anne to establish clear guidelines for the trustee, and this would give Heche the ability to govern how those assets, which likely would include the rights to films, books, and other intellectual property, should and should not be used to benefit her sons. And in this way, Heche could ensure that her artistic legacy is honored, and Homer and Atlas could benefit from her work for generations to come. Although a lifetime asset protection trust would have been ideal for Heche, such trusts are not for everyone. But contrary to what you might think, lifetime asset protection trusts are not just for celebrities or for the rich. A lifetime asset protection trust can be even more useful if you're leaving behind a modest inheritance, because the smaller the inheritance, the more at risk it is of getting wiped out by a single unfortunate event, like a divorce or accident. However, If your kids are going to quickly spend their inheritance on everyday expenses and consumables, building a lifetime asset protection trust into your estate plan may not make sense. We definitely recommend that you meet with an attorney, specifically a personal family lawyer near you, to sit down for a family wealth planning session and determine if a lifetime asset protection trust, a living trust, or some other solution is the right choice for you and your family. Beyond the distribution of her assets, Heche's story also illustrates the critical importance of planning for incapacity. Estate planning is about more than just planning for your eventual death. It's about planning for your potential incapacity as a result of this accident or illness. While we don't know if Heche had an incapacity plan, let's look at how such a plan would have worked to help her and her family following her accident. After her accident, it's been reported that Heche was on life support for more than a week, and then removed from life support and allowed to die without ever regaining consciousness. What we don't know is who made those decisions regarding how long Heche was kept on life support and at what point life support was removed. If she had a medical power of attorney in place, Heche would have chosen the person to make those decisions on her behalf. If she did not have a medical power of attorney, there could have been conflict between her friends, her children, and other family. Fortunately, there doesn't seem to have been any conflict in this case. And in fact, it seems that there was a clear agreement that Heche wanted to donate her organs, which did occur and likely saved the life of another human as a result. Generally speaking, directives regarding your wishes around decisions such as organ donation, how long to be kept on life support, what to be fed in the hospital, and who should have access to you if you're hospitalized are all outlined in a legal document called a living will, or your advanced healthcare directive. While these legal documents are the foundation of any incapacity plan, your plan may require other tools, such as a durable financial power of attorney and living trust. So be sure that you are sitting down with a skilled attorney to put in place the tools that are right for your unique situation. We want to let Anne's story be a lesson. Celebrities don't just entertain us, they educate us too. Regardless of your financial status, planning for your potential incapacity and eventual death is something every adult should take care of immediately, especially if you have children. As we saw with Anne Heche's tragic, too soon passing, you never know when tragedy may strike. And with life and legacy planning, you can save your family needless conflict, expense, and even embarrassing, unnecessary public exposure. Beyond passing your assets to your loved ones when you die, Heche's story highlights the vital need for incapacity planning to ensure you'll be properly cared for in the event you suffer a debilitating injury or illness. And to this end, if you've yet to plan for incapacity, or you have an existing plan that needs review, contact a personal family lawyer near you. You can find someone by going to personalfamilylawyer.com. And finally, you want to remember that truly effective estate planning can ensure that your wealth, assets, and legacy are all protected and used to benefit your children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren in strict accordance with your values. To ensure that your estate plan offers your family this level of benefit, I definitely recommend, again, you've heard me say it several times in this podcast, but reach out to an attorney today. You can find a personal family lawyer by going to personalfamilylawyer.com. And if you're in Arizona or Colorado and you find that this is something you'd like to discuss further with me, then you can schedule time on my calendar by going to bit.ly/call Easton Law or calling my front desk at 480-999-4455. Well, I want to thank you guys for listening in again today. This has been another episode of Family Wealth and Other Musings, and I'm your host, Becky Easton. I will talk to you tomorrow. Have a great day.